I ask for the truth on behalf of Jane Sanchez concerning career issues. And I ask for guidance and insight concerning career and love issues, actually. It was asked there. But I'll do so to Sanchez's career. Nevertheless, I ask for guidance and insight on both in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the truth always. And we just cut the tarot for you there, Jane, and just move things here. And I'm going to deal out 3 cards. The first card we deal is in the position of the recent past, then the present, and then the immediate future. So you could say a moon phase behind, a moon phase in front, with Jane Sanchez just in the middle there. Just pop them here, where you can see them and examine them. Your question was about career and love, of course. It seems as though love was secondary or second mentioned. So career seems to be, or appears to be, just probably a bit more important than love at the moment. Although that's just an assumption based upon what the way you wrote your question in the Facebook group there. The 100% free psychic readings group, as is now is. Let's though pull out the first card and see what its energy is. This energy vibrates within a period of time concerning career and love issues, concerning what we've asked for. It vibrates within a period of time between now and this time last month. You could say over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so, couldn't you? You could refer to it as that. Let's flip the card nice and slowly just to reveal its energy, to see what it is here. Ooh. You've got there the energy of the 10 of coins. The 10 of coins, Crowley refers to the 10 of coins as the Lord of Wealth. Although he can, of course, refer to physical discovery or the discovery of something anyway. Maybe treasure as well. Something it's very earthly. Coins as earth, isn't it? Coins as earth. And the number 10, of course, any number between 4 and 9 is to do with water, but 10 is the physical vehicle. It's to do with earth. 1 is to do with spiritual essence. That's the number 1. Then the numbers 2 and 3 are to do with air, creative and transmissive powers, and then 4 to 9 is water, mental and moral qualities, and then 10 is the physical vehicle. It's to do with earth. It's the earthly part of earth. The peak of one's achievements may be the Lord of Wealth, may be, not to say that you've been affluent or you've won on the lottery, but if you had done and that had come up, then it wouldn't be surprising. It's more to do with physical discovery or treasure, buried treasure, in the sense. Why am I sort of feeling as though you have, let's do that, you found something? Not information, but not found out something, but found something physical in the sense, maybe, well, not money, but certainly it may be worth something. Or worth something now, anyway. But why am I sort of getting that from it? adorned with gold and things, or whatever, valuable precious metals and things like that. I'm sort of, it's from I suppose from a divinatory point of view, yes. From a career point of view, which is the question, I suppose, really that has been asked, hasn't it? From a career point of view, you did find, or you did, I suppose, have a well-paid job, but certainly something that that kept the lights on and kept food in your belly. In whatever form that came, I don't know. It was either in the form of a job or the form of somebody else looking after you, or whatever. But whatever form of income that you had then, what wouldn't make you rich or anything like that, but it was certainly stable, I suppose is the word, isn't it? But of course, with it being a pip card, or not a pip card, but a minor arcana energy, it indicates that you did have power to change it. You could have changed the situation at any time. Whatever it was you found out, whatever it was you discovered, whatever treasure you had, maybe you could have sold it and got something, or whatever. Even if it was an investment in something, in a stocks and shares or something like that, or whatever. It could be absolutely anything there. But I get a sort of sense, if it's not a monetary windfall, it certainly is something that is worth something. It's got some earthly value to it then. Let's say that. The physical vehicle, of course, manifesting something that's become manifest, and now you can see clearly because you know what it is. I suppose it's a bit like ordering something off eBay or Amazon or something like that, or post by post. It's all something in the head when you buy it, and then when it actually arrives through the post, that's when it manifests itself for what you've done, for what you've spent your money on. You can then enjoy it, can't you, or whatever. And this is the sort of thing here where something has been either found, or I got a sense that you have found something. So, well, I didn't know we still got that, or would you believe it? What's this here? That'll be worth a few bob. That'll be worth something. That I'll keep it just a bit longer until it's worth a bit more, and then you keep it a bit longer and longer still till it's worth nothing, because you end up dead and you never do anything with it. And that's the paradox, isn't it, or the irony? I don't know which one it is. Let's see what's going on now, though. Let's see how this has affected you in some way. Maybe it could be the fact that you know what affluence is. Let's throw it in this other direction. That you know what affluence is, and now for some strange reason you don't. Or you've seen other people. I get a sense as though you've seen other people enjoying the physical side of things, the monetary side, and you want to enjoy it too. You don't want to be left out because all your friends are doing. So why shouldn't you? Notice here, though, the 8 of coins. Crowley calls the 8 of discs, as Crowley's interpretation there. The Lord of Prudence. This can sometimes, I suppose in some regards be related to knowledge and insight as well, can't it? But of course, from total affluence, as you could say, or from discovering something discovering a hidden treasure, something of hidden value, or whatever it is, to now gaining insight and knowledge about it, maybe you've had to do a bit of research on it to find out what it is really worth. I don't know. But the Lord of Prudence, in that regard, if we go back to what we were saying before, it could just indicate that you know what affluence is. You've discovered other people experiencing it. You've seen the treasures that other people have, and you want it, and the only way you can do it is be a steer, in the sense of be prudent, be careful what you spend. Maybe you've got to go to a cheaper supermarket or something like that. So you've got a bit more money left over just to pay the bills or something, I don't know. But the career side, you want a better... I get a sense as though it's not so much you want a career, you want a better career, you want a better one, a better job than what you've got. So you can tell your boss where to go, as to put it politely. But at the moment you're having to be prudent. You're having to use knowledge and insight and to learn how to control your money, I suppose. Oh God, I've been sneezed. Just a moment. Oh God. If you sneeze, always blow. That's fine. Blow your nose quickly as you can, and they'll get rid of it. Nothing to do with somebody coming up behind you and saying "boo." It's just to do with that. So that's what I find anyway. This thing about it's very earthly though, isn't it? Notice the 8. 8, of course, is challenge, isn't it? 10 is the physical vehicle. 8 is challenge, a challenge to one's earthly wealth or goods. Right now, the challenge is that you are challenging it, maybe as well. You are putting a challenge to that. And that's what prudence is. So that's what the prudence is, isn't it? Challenging yourself to spend less or manage your money a bit more efficiently. Excuse me. And that's, I suppose, what it is. It's gone from enjoying oneself to now just having to square things out in light and darkness. So there's a yin and yang, there's a balance, there's a wu qi, isn't there? A balance. Harmony. A Tao, as you could say. That is, I suppose, could be a problem. I sort of sense as though it is problematic for you because you're not used to it. You're probably one of these people who can't live on less than $1 million a week or something like that, something silly like that. You know, it's but having to this climb down to have to actually try and manage what. You know, to try and manage your outflows to curtail is a challenge for you, and maybe it could even be if focusing on the insight, the knowledge, it could even be sort of saying seek an education or something of that nature. Maybe further education. Now that would be a good idea either way if you're wanting to up your position. You need better qualifications, so to get that you'd have to do a bit of schooling, a bit of education, further education, whatever. And maybe that's the prudence. Then can you afford to go to college, or have you got to keep a roof over your head? What is going on? What is that all about? I want to now move on to the next card, which is the immediate future. Represents what's about to happen over the next 3 or 4 weeks or so. It's not the long term next year like you asked about. It is very much short term, the foreseeable future, something we can handle, and we'll just pull that out, and then we'll bring it round and flip it nice and slowly to reveal its energy, to see what you've got here. And you've got the energy of the Ten of Swords. You've gone from the 10 of coins to the 10 of swords, from basically to ruin. Basically, the Lord Crowley calls the 10 of swords the Lord of Ruin. You've gone from a sort of affluence to now challenging that affluence, in the sense of having to be prudent, to be careful, to between now and this next month or so, it's going to be very black and clouded for you, and it's going to ruin you, it's going to destroy you. Seeking further education is always a good idea now. Let's focus on now. Seeking a further education is always a good idea anyway, isn't it? Really, but nevertheless, it doesn't look good, I'm afraid, for the foreseeable future. Yes, I suppose the crow can carry you through the darkness into the light to the other side, through the mist of uncertainty that's around the corner. Darkness looms on the horizon here, it certainly does. And I think you know it, and it was good while it lasted. I suppose you get that sort of thing. It was good while it lasted, but that's the past. What you discovered of value, anything of any value, be it even an affluent upbringing with your parents or something. But I get a sense as though this is only over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so, and I do sort of sense it's more of an external thing than a thing to do with you, in the sense of you see other people enjoying their affluence, other people enjoying money, but right now you're the one having to spend it wisely, and it's not fair, because you know that ruin is just around the corner. You know there's darkness awaiting you, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. And that only rubs salt into the wound, doesn't it? Really. But of course that is only the foreseeable future between now and this time next month. As of around about the 10th of April, who knows what could happen. April, of course, is usually the beginning of the financial year, isn't it, normally? But for you, it's not going to be a very nice beginning. you'd have to experience rack and ruin before one must fall before one is raised up. Let's put it that way. I don't know in what way, but I do sense that you know it's the very reason why you're having to be prudent now, why you're having to be careful. Maybe the very reason why you feel you must seek an education and better yourself. It's probably the reason why you feel that you are worth more than this. Although I'm getting this discovery that the sense that you discovered something, you found something that was of some value. Nevertheless, I'm sensing that is also linked to you seeing other people enjoying what they've got, and you've thought, what have I got of some value that I could probably sell, or something like that that could give me a quick fix and a quick sort of boost to my finances. Why am I thinking that? Not that you go to a pawnbroker, because that would indicate ruin anyway, wouldn't it, to some degree back then, in the sense that you'd have to do that. But I do sort of sense that you've discovered something on the earth plane, as you would say, and you're now having to be more prudent. You've gained insight into it anyway. You're gaining insight into it right now, and you're gaining knowledge. Knowledge is power, but is it enough power to see you through the beginning of the new financial year? Which it isn't, is it? It's going to be ruinous. It's black and clouded, it's dark, and you know it. But that's for the foreseeable future. That's probably why you want to know about the long-term future. But of course, in the long term, or in the whatever, we are all dead anyway. That's too general, isn't it? If you live long enough, something will kill you, or if you wait long enough, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. So if, as you enjoy yourself, it shall pass, and it will lead to ruin. But of course, at the end of the day, in the same way, this too shall pass. Be of good cheer, and it will pass, and you will experience better times again. It won't be permanent. But the nothing is permanent argument doesn't go well with when you're losing what you're doing now. But all good things must come to an end, mustn't they? But of course all bad things must as well. And that's the only thing you can look forward to, young lady. For now we'll cast a shadow, as these cards have spoken.